So recently I read an article by the Hollywood Insider on Samuel L. Jackson. And they talked about how Samuel Jackson is one of the most influential, most historic celebrity movie stars ever. And they did research and found out that he's the man, like more popular and known than Clint Eastwood and Tom Cruise. And I thought that was crazy. What I also thought was crazy about that was just in the article it talked about him, his coolness, all the movies he's been in, but also the fact that he's 70 years old. And I'm like, 70 years old? He rolled into the interview, did his thing. He's got 3 huge movies that are gonna come out this year, whatever. And I just thought that was crazy. Like, yo, Samuel Jackson's 70 years old and he's still killing the game. And in that moment, I didn't know that you could be 70 years old and cool. Now that might sound funny or even weird, but it's just something I thought. Like, I'm like, yo, this dude he's a cool dude and he's 70 years old and he's chilling. And I realized in my own life, I don't think I'm gonna live very long. Like I never thought, maybe it's because of my family, and so many of my family have had short lives. You know, both of my parents died in their 50s, all that kind of stuff. I just never thought that I would live very long. I thought I would do my short time. This would be it, and that would be it. I never thought I would live, man. I never thought you could be 70 years old and still like have a lot of life left. And so I was challenged by that because I was like, man, I want to live. I want to be able to tell stories to my grandkids, or I at least want to see them. And in my own life, I grieve some days because my parents didn't get to see my children and get to experience a lot of the things I went through. And for my father, it was something that he couldn't avoid. I mean, his time was up. But for many of my friends and family that have passed away very young, it was from things that were very preventable. And I realized, man, I could make a decision right now that could affect 30, 40, 50 years from now. And I'm already dealing with chronic illness. I've already had some issues that would seem like life would be short for me. But I had, in my own heart, my own mind, I came to this revelation that, yo, I can choose to live. I can choose to want to live. I can choose to want to be around. And then I can live like that. And so that's what hit me. I can choose to live. I can want to live. Now, listen, I know God has our days numbered. Our life is our life, and God gives us what he gives us. But listen, I want to live. But I've never said that to myself. Maybe that's weird to say, but I want to live. I'm alive. But that's what I realized. I'm alive, but I'm not living. I'm doing what I have to do, and I'm trying to make a difference in the world. But man, like, I want to live. I want to live to be 75 years old. I've never said that. I just never thought it was a possibility. And so maybe for you, I don't know what your situation is, where you're coming from, what you're thinking, but listen, choose to live. Choose to live. You could be 50 and you might still have another 25, 30 years to go. You may be 15 and you may have another 60 years to go. Whatever the case may be, I think, man, choose to live. Choose today. Choose today. Man, you know what? I'm going to be around to see the work that I put in come to fruition. And so when I think about what the work I do here in Baltimore, church plant, and I think the Lord has begun to give me what this thing could look like in 30, 40 years, I want to see it. I want to see that thing happen. And I want to be able to see the difference in this city as a result of some of the efforts that we put into place even now. And so, man, my encouragement to you, my hope for you is very simple. Is that you would just have the desire, or you would make the decision that today I'm going to live. I don't know what may happen tomorrow. That ain't up to me. But if it was up to me, I'd want to see the work I put in come to fruition. So maybe that's you. Choose to live.